Dear friends, welcome to my video. In this video, I'll show you how to read or access the contact numbers stored in the phone database from your Android app. So let's begin. We'll create a simple layout as I usually do for most of my applications and focus more on the actual code. So name of the application you can give anything, say for example my contact access app, and then just click finish and wait for a few seconds for your environment to get loaded in the Android Studio. Once your environment is loaded, this kind of window should come up in your Android Studio. So first and foremost thing what we'll do is we in the Android manifest.xml file will ensure that the necessary permissions are stated in our manifest file. So the two permissions which we need is one is the write context and the other one is the read context. So you have to ensure that both the users permissions are defined in XML file. Of course in Java code we have to ensure that we seek those permissions from the user of this app, but in the manifest file we have to declare it. Okay, so now we'll move to the layout. So in layout file we'll keep it pretty simple again. So if I move to the design view and just minimize this part because we don't need it anymore. Yeah, so we will need so in this contact details what we will have is we will have two text box. So one will be to fetch the name and the other will be to fetch the number. So if the name is given, then the number should be displayed, and the number is given, then the name should be displayed, and vice versa. So I can just minimize so that both of this text box gets adjusted. Yes, perfect. You can do it as per your requirement, the size of this. And then probably I need a couple of buttons. So first button will be to say for example get name. So this first edit text will be for name, and the second one will be for number. So I'll just name these buttons accordingly. So probably the text should be get number. Okay, so this button will be for getting the number, and this will be for getting the name from the contact list of my phone. And over here probably I don't need an any kind of text. The only thing I will probably put is a kind of hint. So the contact name comes here. That's it. So I should also give the constraints here. So yeah, I think more or less this text box is done. Moving to the second one, and please note the ID of the second one is edit text 2, whereas for the first one is just edit text. Yeah, so if I try to complete this again, I'll put some hint over here, and hint will be contact number. So this is not a name, but this will display the number here. We could have used text of numerical form also, number form also here, but to keep it simple and straightforward, I have used a simple plain text here. Okay, so now we will give the constraints for the layout. So once done that's also done. I think the constraints for this buttons is also needed. So done, and this is the last one. So once all these constraints are given, I'm expecting the warnings will be else are gone, but there are few warnings. Of course we should fix those warnings, so quickly we'll do one by one. Yes, fix. And then there are a few hard-coded text, so we should just, you can click fix automatically here, and it will automatically create the required resource for each of the strings which you have used in the strings.xml file. I'll show you this file very quickly after I complete all the warning fix. Yeah, I think more or less I have done. So I'll just quickly show where this was created. So inside the resource folder, I think inside values there should be a file called strings.xml. So if you open some, these are our text, and what we did, what the Android Studio did was they created a resource for each of the strings which we have used. So you can use the string directly, but it's always a better approach like this to create a resource out of it first. Okay, so now more or less our layout is done. So we'll move to the Java code. So in Java code, first and foremost we should do is we should have a handle or a kind of a reference to the edit text what we have defined in our layout. So we will need to edit text proper 2, yes, and then in the onCreate method we will associate them to the respective edit text. So they were, so first one will get associated with the first one, and similarly the second one will point to the second one, rd.id.edit text 2. Perfect. So what else we will need is we will also have to ensure that we seek the permission from the user for writing and reading the context. Although I don't think we need the right context because in this app I'll just show you how to read the context, but okay, but I'll just probably get both the permission from the user. So you can use this activity compact and then request permission. The activity will be of course the present one, the context, this present activity, and then we can use this new string, and over here you can use manifest dot permission dot write context is the first one, and the second one will be manifest dot permission dot read context. Yes. So once done this, then you can just use package I think manager dot permission granted. Yes. So this line will ensure that you get the permission from the user before you move on. So once done this, what else we will need is we will have to define the onClick method for these two buttons respectively. So we will define the onClick method for, say for example, first button, which is nothing but get, I'll use it, get name button view. So if such kind of warnings come, just press alt enter and it will initialize the respective package in the import over here. So if I expand the import, so you will see that this view would have got included over when I press alt plus enter. Okay, so this is for the get name button, and the second one will be for get number button. So you can give any name. It is not mandatory that you give the same name what I am giving, because the only thing is we have to make sure that the reference is correctly set. So what you have to do is come back to your layout, and over here inside this button you have to associate it with the right method what you have defined in your Java code. Perfect. So once done this, now we can start one by one implementation. So first we'll fetch implement the get name method, which is nothing but once the contact number is given, we have to find the respective name of that particular number. Yes. So in this, what we can do is first we can start, of course, it's always better to have a try catch, because there will be lots of exceptions which may be there, and this will make sure that our code is more robust. So once I have created this try catch template, then I can do my coding here. So what I need is a kind of UD, and that will be nothing but UD dot with append path, and here we have to fetch the context, or we can just probably use, I think by mistake, phone lookup. Yes. So and then in this we can use the content filter UD. So this is a bit of long text. Here you have to ensure that you do it exactly how I am doing it, and this here the input of this UD encode will be the number which we want to filter out in the phone lookup. So this is nothing but the edit text box second one, which we will do get text dot to string. So this part will fetch the phone number which has been entered in this second edit text here, and this is something which will get returned over here in this URI for us. So now we can have our cursor, which will we can use to for the content resolver query, and then the UD we already got is the first one, and here new string. Okay, and then here again phone lookup dot display name. So this will ensure that the display name of that particular filter is captured in our cursor over here. Rest of the arguments we can keep null. We don't need anything else over here. So once done this, we have our cursor. Now the things becomes very simple. We have our data in cursor. The only thing we have to move to check for if the cursor is valid or not, and if cursor is valid, we have to move it to the first one. But before that, let's have a local variable called like the contact name, the variable in which the name will be stored. And by default, let's put it invalid, because what if our data is corrupt or something not correct? So it should display something which makes sense as a developer. So we can first check whether it's null or not, because if it's not null, then only we should move further, and then we can check, or we can move our cursor to the first result. And once done that, then our job becomes very simple. We can just have this string contact name equal to nothing but cursor dot get string. That's it. And of course the zeroth index, which is the first index. And once done this, then we can just simply assign this set text, and set text will be nothing but the string which we just now got there. So more or less, I think the first part of our code is done. Now let's do the second part or second method, which is get number button. So get number button will be in fact much more simpler. Here we can directly use a cursor, which is a local variable of course, and get content resolver, and in this we can query with for UD. So UD we can get using our phone dot content UD. Perfect. And then we can have similarly the new string. I think by mistake I pressed something. I should have not done this. Yeah, string. And once so the strings what we need is again phone dot number comma and the type. So these are the two things which we will need over here. Yes, probably I can to make it more readable, I can put enter from here itself, so it come in multiple lines and it's more readable. Okay, so once we have it, then what else we can do is we can have our query or argument form here. So display, I think it should be in inverted comma, display underscore name equals to. So here what we can do is we can get our string from the first one, because that will have the name of the contact. Yes, so this will form the our query, that what we want to select. So we want to select with or we want to search where the display name equal to whatever has been entered in the edit text box 1. Yeah, so once done that, and rest of the inputs or arguments we can keep 0. I think that should be fine. So once done this, then that's all. I think we have to move our cursor to the move to first, and then display the edit text to dot set text, and here we can get our cursor dot get string, and here the 0th element should be returned. That's it. I think more or less our code seems to be fine. Now I will execute or run it in a emulator in C. So we have to wait for the emulator to come up. Yeah, so our gradability completed and the emulator has come up. So it's asking whether we want to have the access to our context or not. Please say yes, then only we will be able to access it. And what we can do is, before we run, we can make it visible side by side so that we can see both our code and the emulator in parallel. Perfect. So we can move it a little bit on the right hand side. So one more thing I would like to show very quickly is, in the context I have already saved a couple of contexts so that we can use them. So I think I will have to go to over here. So I have two contexts. One is ABC and XYZ. So XYZ is nothing but it has 1111 as its mobile number, and ABC has 99, 88, 77, 55, 44. Please note there is no 66 in middle. Okay, so we'll go back to our app and say, for example, first let's try the get name function. So we'll give 1111 which was a 4 times 1, and XYZ, if you remember. So 111 is a context saved in our local phone, and the name of that number is XYZ. The other number was 9988775544. There is no 66. So if I click get name, it's ABC. Perfect. So say for example, if I do something like 665554, then let's see what it says. It says invalid, and this invalid is coming from nowhere, but over here, since it's not able to return anything, so it prints invalid from this the initial value of the string what we initialize here. Perfect. So now once we have tested it, so let's just test the other way around. So we give the name as XYZ, and let's see what the number is stored for this particular variable for this particular name. So the moment I press get number, it printed the 1111, and say for example now I change it to ABC, and now let's see what it prints. It prints perfect. So the number which is stored there. So now let me change it to D, ABD. So okay, so it crashed. It should not have crashed. Probably what we can do to avoid this is we can put try catch in this method also. So that's usually I do, and that's the exact reason why I always encourage yeah, the programmers to use try catch, because this kind of error handling is done very well in try catch. You not print a stack, and probably what we can also do is edit text to dot set text. Probably some kind of NA. I'll put NA here, not invalid, because then we will get confused between this invalid and NA over here. Yeah. So whenever there is an exception, so I am expecting that this will set it as a NA over here. Perfect. So now we will rerun it, our code, and I hope this time it doesn't crashes on the get number button if some wrong values are given here, and it prints NA instead of printing some or crashing our app. So let's wait for it to come up again. So our app is again there. So first let me check some use case. So it is printing correct. So let me now put ABCD NA. So because ABCD is not found in phone contact book, so it throws an exception. It goes here and it prints NA from here. Perfect. So I'll just repeat again 1111 just to check whether I have not broken anything from this side. So perfect. It looks fine. Yeah. So this is how you can quickly program in your app to fetch a contact. Vice versa, both. If you have name, you can fetch the number. If you have number, you can fetch the name. Just it's 2 lines of code. You have to find the correct content resolver and query it accordingly as per your name or number given, and then print it or use it in your code wherever you want. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to show. So if you have any questions or suggestions, then please put in the comment section below. And if you like this video, then please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye.